Hello friends, it's Alexis and welcome to my March new releases reading vlog. So yes, the title of this video is pretty self-explanatory, but this is going to be a new kind of series that I'm going to start doing on my channel where every month I'm going to read and vlog about my most anticipated releases. And my plan is to also have this be sort of a reset vlog. Just generally tidy up the house. I don't know if it's some sort of seasonal depression that's been getting me down, but I have not been keeping up on my daily chores, so I just want to get back on top of stuff. I have a lot of laundry hanging out that needs to be put away. Really, the point of this vlog is I just want to try and get my life together. Let's finally get to the reason you're here, the books I will be reading. First up, we have seriously one of my most anticipated books of the year, and it has been almost impossible to wait to read this because I knew I wanted to vlog. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I feel like everybody is talking about this book right now, so I don't think I need to go into a super in-depth synopsis, but this is the newest book in the world of The Hunger Games, and this is Haymitch's story. So he is Katniss's mentor, so this actually takes place about 24 years before the first Hunger Games, I believe. I did start this last night. I got exactly one chapter in, so not very far. But everything I've heard about this is that it's the best Hunger Games novel yet, and that I'm going to be a complete mess at the end and probably need therapy for all of my feelings. Next up on the official TBR is going to be Woodworking by Emily St. James. If I have extra time, I might read more books, but this is a book that I had not heard of before I saw it on Instagram, and it's actually all thanks to the Trans Rights Readathon that is actually happening this week. I believe it goes from March 21st until the 31st, and I actually already started the audiobook for this on Monday. It was available from my library through the Hoopla app, and I'm already 50% of the way through this because I just can't put it down. I am loving it so much. So this one follows a high school English teacher named Erica, and she is transgender, but she hasn't told anybody yet. So one day when a new transgender student named Abigail transfers to the school, Erica's life is changed forever, and she finally has somebody to actually connect with and tell her secret. So far, this book has been the most heartwarming, wholesome story I have ever read. I just have such a big smile on my face while I'm listening to it, and it's been so full of just trans joy. And that's not to say that there's not heavier topics, but there's little bits of comedy that really lighten the tone of the book. But we have Erica, who is going through divorce and just really struggling with her identity, with having the courage to tell everybody about her true self. And then even though Abigail is out, it's not easy for her either. Her parents kicked her out of the house when she came out to them, so she's currently living with her older sister, and she's relentlessly bullied at school along with by local politicians who want to pass anti-trans bathroom laws. The issues in this book are very timely, very relevant for today's world, but through it all, they have each other, and this book is really just about this unlikely friendship that they've developed. So now that this intro is a million years long, I think I'm gonna actually get to the reading part, and I just bought some new markers, so I think I'm gonna go test those out and color while I listen to my audiobook. I'm calling it for the night. I am going to bed. It is 1 a.m. I stayed up way too late, but I was really enjoying listening to Woodworking. I got to 86%, so while I get ready for bed, and then when I'm laying in bed, procrastinating going to sleep, I'm gonna keep listening. But yeah, I think this is one that I'll probably finish tomorrow morning. Loving it so much. I love these characters. I love this story. It's this last little bit that I've listened to since the 50% mark. It's not so lighthearted anymore. You know, we're dealing with serious topics, but Abigail is just such a funny character and she is so sarcastic. She always has a comeback that like she's still just making me laugh no matter what's going on. We did have something happened that I was not expecting. I don't know how I feel about it being included in the story. I feel like maybe it wasn't necessary, but I see why the author included it. So yeah, it's still looking really good. I'm still kind of sitting at a 5-star rating. I think it's giving me the feelings. It's just I'm really sucked into the story and I'm really liking these characters. So that's usually all I need to give a book 5 stars. But I'm really excited to finish this one. And I'm just really excited about the development our characters have had from the beginning. And I love this little coming of age moment. I'm tired, so I'm gonna go get into bed and I will talk to you in the morning. Good night. Good morning. I have officially finished woodworking and I actually finished it a few hours ago. And I wanted to update you like as soon as I did because I finished it like bright and early. I only had like 30 minutes left of the audiobook when I woke up, but I've had the busiest day of my life. Sort of exciting news that I didn't think I was going to share with you guys, but it kind of is affecting my mental health right now. So to be transparent, at work, I have just received a promotion, something I've been working towards for a long time, a few months I've been training for it, and everything just became official. So while I am very, very excited and like happy about this, like this is a big step in my career, this is something that I've wanted, the like reality of the situation is hitting me now and the imposter syndrome is sinking in. That's just something that I'm dealing with a lot. Like last night was rough. I was just very, very anxious and I'm having a little bit of a hard time managing it. So last night I was just trying to be really kind to myself and take some time to listen to my book and color, which did help. But yeah, I'm just dealing with my mind right now. I'm trying to stay excited, but I'm a Taurus and I don't like change. So this is big for me. But yeah, what was the point of me telling you all this? That I've been busy. I think my work life is going to be a lot different now, and it has been different for a few months now. I used to not be very busy at work, and that's not the case anymore. I am now like booked solid meetings back to back to back. So I think that's definitely going to affect my reading. So it's going to be a transition, but I did wake up early today to get some editing in before I officially signed on to work. So already that just makes me feel better to like have a whole hour's worth of editing done before I even sign into work for the day. And then of course finishing my audiobook early. Like it's a good day. Anyways, back to the book, if you didn't care about my little life update. Of course, I ended up loving woodworking. I mean, I knew nothing would really change. It did lose my interest a little tiny bit when it got into sort of like the politics part of the story. So along with it being a story about these two trans women and their friendship and their journey through self-discovery and growing up and stuff, there is also this sort of B-plot where this local politician is running for office in this town and both of our women sort of get entangled in it. More so the high school student Abigail. She is part of like this student Democrat club, and obviously the anti-transgender bathroom laws are like directly affecting her. Like this politician actually uses her as an example in one of his speeches, like super inappropriate. But I see why that was important to the story, but just personally, I read to escape, so I don't really want to read about gross politicians. Like their whole platform is just hating people. We did have an example of like a good political figure standing up for our transgender women in the story. So overall, I'm not mad at the involvement of it in the book. Like it had its purpose. It's just like that was the least interesting thing to me. So even though there was that tiny aspect of the book where I got like a little bored or maybe like didn't pay as much attention to because it kind of lost my interest, it's still a 5 stars. I liked that even though it dealt with heavier topics and real world topics and examples, it wasn't a traumatic story. Well, there was the example of Abigail's parents not accepting her. Like that wasn't the point of the story. The point of the story was really accepting and loving yourself. And there were positive transgender adult role models in this story, and there were people who accepted Abigail and Erica. I just loved all of the joy in it, getting to see where our characters ended up and the confidence that they built along the way, and it was just, I love Erica so much. She is such a cutie, and then Abigail was so sassy and so sarcastic, and what a great book. I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of literary fiction. This is a really good one. Besides that, I now have a tiny little bit of a break before my next meeting, so I think I'm going to start our next book, You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Pliego. This, of course, is the Literally Dead Book Club pick for March, and I think this one came out in 2025. Okay, yeah, it came out February 11th, so this totally counts. I am marking it as currently reading on Goodreads, and I didn't update that I finished woodworking. I'm going to do that. But this one, of course, is sort of like a And Then There Were None type of mystery book. I think these people go to an island. They're all thriller writers. They're all invited to this private island where they're going to play sort of a murder mystery game until it's not a game anymore and real murders start occurring. But I do think there's an added sort of element in this where there's a woman named Mila who is kind of hosting everything, and she actually is trying to get revenge on one of the authors there. So I think there's like this added element of like these people turning up dead that Mila didn't do, but then there's somebody else that Mila is trying to get. It says, one by one, you'll lose your turn. With a storm cutting off the island and the body count rising, Mila must outwit a killer who knows literally every trick in the book until only one of us remain. I like those kinds of thrillers. They're fun. I like that they're on sort of a secluded location like this private island. That always makes it like super interesting and fast-paced, more suspenseful to me. So I'm gonna throw on the audiobook now while I try to get a little bit of work done. Oh my god, it has been a day. The sun is also shining right in my face at this time of day. This is better for a quick little update. It is so funny how red my hair looks on camera. In person, it's more brown, but I definitely need to re-dye it. But anyways, we're getting distracted. I am back. I'm ending my workday late, 6 o'clock already. It was a crazy day. And unfortunately, when I said I was going to start my audiobook earlier, I got exactly 8 minutes in before my boss called me to chat. So did not get much audiobook listening time in, but that's okay. We have the whole night ahead of us. We are going to get caught up. I think my immediate plan right now is I've been sitting in the same spot since 8:30 a.m. besides getting up to like get food. So I want to go move around. I'm thinking I'm just going to do some cleaning around the house, more into a habit of doing just a tiny little chore every day. I think I'm going to vacuum because that, will have me walking around the house. And while I do that, I'm going to listen to my audiobook, try and get a little bit more into it. But right now, I need to get up and stretch because my legs are so asleep. Hello, I am back. I did my little cleanup around the house. I feel a lot better. I vacuumed everything. There are no little, we call them tumbleweeds. If you're a pet owner, do you know the like clumps of fur that just like gather around the house and like tumbleweed and blow around? I unfortunately have a lot of those with all the cats. So yes, no more of them. And now I'm getting ready to make dinner. I am doing a crispy tofu and broccoli. I'm gonna serve it over some white rice. It's one of my favorite easiest meals that I love to make, and my broccoli is a little wilty, so it's time to use it. But I thought it was a good time to check in because I have made it to, I think, like the 25% mark of the book. I'm not going to check right now because my phone's in my pocket, but I'm pretty sure I was close the last time I checked, and I'm enjoying it so far. Nothing has really happened yet. We're really just getting set up with the story. There are a lot of characters, so I'm having a hard time telling them apart. So far, I have Rodrigo down. He's been sort of our narrator this whole time, and he is an author, and he is traveling with his wife. What is her name? Olivia, maybe? Violet? One of them. They are traveling to the private island. They've been invited there as guests of the author, and we meet up with Mila. She's kind of like the event coordinator, so she was hired by the author to put on this weekend. They're doing sort of like a murder mystery dinner type thing, but the point of view is shifting between Rodrigo and Mila. We learn that Mila has something up her sleeve. This is not a super innocent weekend. Like, somebody is going to die. They have set it up where Mila is going to get revenge on one of these authors. We don't know who yet, and we don't know why. Just something from her past. Like, Mila was picked for a reason. She agreed to do this because she knew this person would be on the island. So yeah, I'm really interested to see where it goes. It's giving me really big And Then There Were None vibes because they're all going to this island. They don't really know why they were invited there. They also don't know who invited them there. Like, yes, they know it was this very popular, famous author, but none of them actually know him, and I don't think we even know who he really is. Like, he's very mysterious. He's never made a public appearance. So, if I was one of these authors, I don't know if I would be attending. I mean, like, honestly, I'm kind of dumb, so I probably would. Like, especially if, like, one of my favorite authors of all time invited me to their private island. Like, who am I to say no? But, yeah, I guess that means that I would be one of the first ones to die. So, yeah, I'm gonna get back to making my dinner. I'm gonna keep listening, and I will talk to you in a little bit, I guess. I'm back, and I have made it to the 63% mark, and I have some not great news that I am no longer enjoying this. Just a lot is going on. Okay, so even up till the point, like, I've been listening to this all day. I expected to check, and like, I was at like the 90% mark. Like, we were about to get the final big reveal. Everything was gonna wrap up. And realizing that I'm only at 63%, what are we doing? Why is this so long, dragged out? An 11-hour audiobook for a thriller? Why does it need to be that long? I feel like thrillers need to be 300 pages or less, like around that mark. How many pages are you? 371? So, it's not looking good. So the last update, I was confused by the characters. I couldn't really keep them all straight, but I thought we're early on in the book, it's gonna get better. And that's like my number one problem. It has not. I'm still so confused, and part of this is like, there is like this unnamed character that everyone is referring to as like her or she. Like, we don't get her name, so I don't know who she is. I know that she's like Mila's target, I guess, and has something to do with like everybody's past. She was involved in something, but like, I'm so confused. I cannot keep these people straight, and we keep jumping around to different perspectives, and like, even the men, I don't know whose perspective we're reading from most of the time. Yeah, like, I cannot keep Fletcher and Ashton straight. I think Ashton is the younger guy. I know Cassandra is the older woman author. Also, I feel like, okay, we have had, like, things have happened. People have disappeared. We're assuming they've been murdered. But I was expecting at this point to get some reveals of, like, why we're doing this to these authors. It's basically And Then There Were None retellings. Those people who were murdered, they all had, like, they did something bad. They were being punished for this past choice, mistake, whatever they made. It's setting it up where the same thing is going on here. Rodrigo was a lawyer and definitely did something shady to like fix a trial in his favor, I think. And then Cassandra, I'm assuming, murdered her husband. That's how they're kind of like, that's what they're kind of like alluding to. But everybody else, we haven't really gotten like information on them, like why they're there, what they did wrong. And like, at this point, can we start getting some reveals? Are we just gonna like drop everything at once in the last chapter? So I'm just getting frustrated at my confusion at the characters, the lack of like information of what's happening. We've also now been introduced to this extra mystery on top of the mystery of who this super famous mysterious author really is. It's just getting all really mixed up in my head, and I feel like there's just too much going on in this. I'm done for the night. I'm getting ready for bed now, and then yeah, I'm hoping to just finish this really quick tomorrow morning. Maybe the last 40% turns it around. Hopefully things start happening and making more sense to me. I just got back from the gym. I had my hair pinned up. Okay, let's, there's no saving that. I have to wash my hair anyways, it's fine. So I've continued, and unfortunately, it has not gotten any better. I am at the 85% mark, and I really want to DNF. I'm a big fan of DNFing. If you are not enjoying the book, do not waste your time. But for whatever reason, I just can't bring myself to do it when I have this little of the book left. Like literally an hour and a half. Like I have to just power through and finish it, even though I think this is going to be like a 1 star. It can't even keep my attention. I don't even care at this point what the big reveal is. I don't care. It's so confusing, and we haven't gotten any reveals to like keep this interesting. Like, I still know nothing about what these characters are hiding. I'm probably gonna update my reading journal, I think, and like just work on some like Instagram posts I want to get up in these last few days of the month. So yeah, hopefully by the time I'm done with that, I will also be done with this and we can move on to something better. That's over. I'm so mad. What a waste of my life. 1 star. I could not have cared less about the ending of that. Actually, I do care because I'm angry. It was stupid. It was really, really bad. So we got our reveal, except like, okay, so you know what's annoying? At the very end, they had to have this whole chapter like explaining everything, like connecting all the dots, doing the reveal. And it's like, if you have to include that at the end of a thriller, you didn't do a very good job connecting the puzzle pieces for people, like laying the hint. Like, you shouldn't have to do a big explanation of this is actually what happened, because that's stupid. We as the reader should be able to get it. Like, yes, maybe reveal 1 or 2 things, but like a whole chapter literally going down the list of this person is connected to this person and they did this and that's why they were here and they're being punished for this reason. And then the very, very ending, like that just completely goes against this entire story. This one character's development, their whole point was getting revenge. And then the ending, it's like, oh, who cares? You were literally ready to kill somebody to get revenge, and now it's like, you're cool? I don't think it was worth finishing. I think I should have DNF'd. The only thing I'm happy about is it counts for Realmathon points. Man, that was bad. That was really, really bad. He's wearing a pumpkin sweater because he's cold. Okay. Sit up. Nope, sit up next to me. I am back with Sunrise on the Reaping. I have made it to page 76. I don't know why I'm going through this one so slowly. I just I don't know, can't really get into it, but I'm ready to change that, and I'm going to attempt to binge read as much as I possibly can of this right now. So far in the story, we've gotten the setup. So the special thing with this round of the Hunger Games is it's the quarter quell, which means it's the 50th anniversary. In this one, the different factor is that there are double the amount of children going into the game. So instead of 24, there are 48, 4 from each district. So far with Haymitch's backstory, it's a lot like Katniss's actually. He was living with his single mother and his younger sibling, really supporting them. He was working with the town bootlegger making the white liquor. And we also find out about his girlfriend, Lenore Dove, and she is part of the Covey family, who that's what the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was all about. So his reaping in this one is very traumatic. I mean, as expected, but it's even worse in this one because you can really see how corrupt the government, the peacekeepers are, and what goes down that day. And even though this Hunger Games is a lot closer to the one Katniss is eventually in, the treatment of the tribute is still so different. It was very, very different in the Ballad. They were treated like livestock, chained up, transported in a cargo hold of a train. In this one, we're starting to get the better treatment. They're in a passenger train, they're getting fed real food, but they're still being chained up. There was just a scene where they finally get to the Capitol, and again, they're treated like animals. They get to the training facility where they finally meet all of the other tribute, and they're stripped of their clothes and thrown into a group shower and assaulted by this stream of water. And then the part I just read was sort of the opening ceremony parade where all of the tributes get dressed up and present themselves to the members of the Capitol, and it was brutal. Something goes very wrong, and we're just hit with something very, very devastating. I was not expecting something so tragic to happen this early on. So yeah, that's where I'm at in the book right now. Goal right now is the next 100 pages. We just met their mentors for the games, and I don't know why I wasn't expecting people to show up that we know. This is gonna hurt so bad. Good morning, happy Monday, and happy last day of March. My battery is dead. All right, take 2 with a fresh battery. Good morning. It is time. We're running out of time to finish this. I'm so nervous. I think that's definitely why I've been putting off reading this. I don't want to be hurt again. I just went through it with rereading the Hunger Games series. That was enough pain for 1 month, but also I have to. I'm so conflicted because I am loving and enjoying it, but it really hurts. I left about 50% of the book to just power through today. Hopefully it doesn't crush me too bad, but I'm absolutely expecting it to. The audiobook was available from this one through the Hoopla app, through my local libraries. So it's super exciting to switch over to the audiobook, be able to just listen while I work today. We are right at the point where he is going to the games. I stopped at chapter 15, page 205, and it's the night before the games. They're just getting ready to go in, strategizing, just preparing for the worst, as am I. I'm just putting it off even longer by stalling. We need to just get into it. We need to just do it.
Been to California, never been to
Chapter 15. The night seems both endless and way too short.
Stay home and write these songs, pretend I'll make it someday. Our friends are getting married.
Well, that didn't take us long for our first update. I've read, listened to 10-ish pages. I'm in the middle of chapter 16. So the twist of this arena, the theme this year, I forgot about that. As soon as they said it, I was like, oh yeah, they did mention that in, was it Catching Fire, that Katniss and Peeta actually watch the tape of Haymitch's games. So I sort of remember what to expect, and I remember the ending. I remember what happens at the end, but that's wild. That is so scary. Suzanne Collins' mind. Oh my God, again, it's been 10 pages. Already a super brutal death? I thought I was prepared for this. I'm not. I'm really not. Oh, this is gonna be so painful. She's not holding back with this one. It is brutal. Hopefully I can go more than 10 pages without our next update. Right, Haymitch and Ampert are enacting their plan. They're getting ready to fuck over the Capitol. The fuck? That was one of the most horrifying death scenes I have ever listened to. And I read horror. I read extreme horror. I'm actually speechless right now. I'm back. The next devastating thing has happened in the book. If you're also wondering why I'm on the floor, I just finished work for the day and I let the dogs out. And when I came back, these two had taken over my office chair. So yeah, they're telling me to get away from my desk for the day. Are you guys comfortable? We have Kit Kat and Blue. And Poe just wants to be in my lap because if I'm on the ground, it's for him, right? Yeah. You gonna sit and be good? Yeah, so I can update the vlog. So, like I was saying, I am in, well, okay, Hoopla's wrong. It says chapter 28, but am I actually in chapter 28?
Chapter 23.
I'm actually in chapter 23. It's rough, and the hits keep coming and they don't stop coming. Is that song line? It's incredibly written, don't get me wrong. I don't love it. Okay, I have to stand up because these dogs. So yeah, like I said, finished up work for the day. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of cleaning around the house. I've been liking doing my like chores for the day, like as soon as I get off of work, and then like relaxing afterwards, because once I sit down on the couch, I don't want to get back up. So I figure while I do some chores, I'll continue listening to the audiobook. I'm at 77%, so guess I gotta get prepared to be devastated.
Settling down, so I lay here, watch the ceiling fan go round and round. And it's always gone too fast, like a trip to the beach or the life of James Dean. It kills me.
Hey! So, it's the next day. I know, I suck. Yesterday just really got away from me, and before I knew it, it was like 11 o'clock at night and I was exhausted. So I did try to stay up and read more of this, but I fell asleep. Okay, it's not my fault. Dan has us watching this new anime called Apothecary Diaries, and it's really good. So we watched a few episodes of that, and yeah. But I am back and finally ready to finish this. I left off on chapter 25, so just a tiny little bit to go. And I'm gonna sit down and I'm not moving until it's over. So here we go. Maybe I hyped it up too much for myself, but I mean, everything that I expected to happen happened. So yeah, that's rough, man. It's really rough. It feels so like wrong to do like a happy outro, so we'll keep it short. Obviously 5 stars. No question about it. What a beautiful, tragic, horrible story. All of the Hunger Games books have such an important message. This one is no different. Really, really good. So if you made it this far and would like to leave me an emoji, please leave the sun emoji for Sunrise on the Reaping. But I think that's going to be it, friends. So I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.